You know, there's so many choices and decisions in life, and the boys that I coach, 100 plus young men every year, ages 14 to 18, on the Highland rugby team, I tell them that the single most important decision that they make has nothing to do with this team, nothing to do with school, nothing to do with a church, nothing to do with their family. It has nothing to do with the typical things that we like. The single most important decision that these young men will make, I tell them, is who you pal around with, who your friends are. Because eventually, you will do what your friends do. I've told parents, you want to know what your son is doing? Find out what his friends are doing. Because sooner or later, we do what our friends do. And that is the single most important decision they will make. And it's hard sometimes because friends are so important. And I understand that. I get it. Friends are important to me. But it's so important in these adolescent growing years when they're finding out who they are, is that they have good friends. They hang around with a group that has no regrets, that focuses on the final score, that will not lose in life. And I don't care who you are. You could make those decisions. And one of the toughest things I've seen is people change their peer group. It's hard. But a young person, a young man or young woman will not do that until they get it. And by that I mean, sometimes, I've seen this in class. Maybe it's a math equation. And it's just all foreign to them. And suddenly a light goes on, the switch clicks, and they say, I get it. I understand this formula. Or it could be a concept in science or in English or in history. They just kind of pull all the pieces together and they get it. Well, something happens. I've seen it every year in young men. And it's a true principle with young women that it's not gender biased. But I'm speaking from the perspective of the Highland rugby team, where they just flat out get it. And sometimes it happens in 9th grade, or 10th grade, or 11th grade, or 12th grade. They just get it as far as how life connects with them. And who you pal around with, who you hang out with, is the single most important decision you make. And that doesn't mean you don't make mistakes. Doesn't mean your peer group is perfect. I haven't met a perfect peer group. But it means that the direction you're going is a good one. I tell the boys all the time, it doesn't matter where you are at the moment, but the direction in which you're headed makes all the difference. If you've made some mistakes, you got some penalty flags, you got a few fouls along the way, well, it is what it is. But where are you going from here? What will be your next step?